News begins with breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Megan Roop. Thank you for joining us. And we do continue our breaking news coverage this afternoon. Downtown Paso Robles on lockdown after a deputy is shot early this morning, and now another person found dead. And that deputy is in serious condition but stable this afternoon. And the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office says the suspect started firing at the Paso Robles Police Department this morning. The deputy has been taken to a hospital and will be airlifted to a trauma center. Now, those in the area are being asked to shelter in place. We do want to go live this noon to our Medeiros Bab. She is in Paso Robles for us, gathering details there. And Medeiros, good afternoon to you. Hope you're staying safe.
Yes, Megan, as you can see, it's still a very active scene here in downtown with dozens of officers, a SWAT team, and a helicopter continuing to search for the suspect. The sheriff's office says the shooting happened around 4 a.m. this morning when a man in his 20s to 30s started shooting at the Paso Robles Police Department. CHP and sheriff deputies were called to the scene. One deputy was shot and taken to the hospital. That deputy in serious condition right now. Officers say the man ran away. He is still on the loose. All residents and businesses have been told to shelter in place until the suspect can be found. At 7 a.m., police officers found a body near the Amtrak station. The man was shot in the back of the head. Investigators believe the death of this homicide is connected to the shooting at the police department from this morning. There was no other description for the suspect besides a man in his 20s to 30s. We will be giving you the latest throughout the day. Also, they ask if you have any information to reach out to the police department or the sheriff's deputies who are now still searching. This is an ongoing investigation. Again, in later newscasts, we will be giving you the latest, or you can head to our website, yourcentralvalley.com. For now, reporting live, Medeiros Bab, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Medeiros, thank you. In the middle of it there. Well, new at noon, Visalia CHP now has in custody a driver suspected of a crash that killed 2 people. And the CHP says the driver left after rolling his car on Highway 198 near Visalia. Officers say an injured woman was spotted walking on Highway 198 and led them to the crash site. And the CHP says the passengers were ejected from the car. Officers suspect they were not wearing seatbelts. And they say 2 people were killed and 2 were injured, one with major injuries. And they were taken to the hospital. The CHP says the driver left the crash, and we did learn he was detained hours later by Merced police. The CHP tells us he was on his way to Modesto with his girlfriend and said his car was stolen. He is now with Visalia CHP and is waiting to be questioned. Also in the South Valley, Visalia police have arrested a man for abusing his 1-year-old son, and doctors say the child is brain dead. Police arrested 23-year-old Ezekiel Ramirez yesterday afternoon, and the toddler's mother, 18-year-old Jasmine Blaze, was arrested Friday night. Police found the child unresponsive at a Visalia Motel 6, and they say he had broken bones and head injuries. Police let us know today the child has been declared clinically deceased by medical staff at Valley Children's Hospital, and they say the child remains on life support for determination of donor options. Ramirez has been booked for 1 count of homicide and a parole violation. Modified charges are also expected for Blaze, and detectives are still investigating this case. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Visalia Police. Continuing coverage now, we know the name of the man who drowned trying to save a child in the Kings River. He was 62-year-old Arthur Caballero of Fresno. And the Fresno County Sheriff's Office says Caballero was fishing yesterday when he tried to rescue a small boy near Winton Park near Sanger. And the child's family also got in to help and narrowly made it out with the child. And now there's no cell service in that area, so bystanders had to drive to the nearest CAL FIRE station to get help. A Fresno County Sheriff's helicopter found the man a half-mile down the river, and rescue crews pulled him out and did perform CPR, but he died at the hospital. And turning to weather this noon, time to check in now on the latest temperatures with our Anthony Bailey. Hi, Anthony.
Good afternoon, Megan. It's a really nice day developing across the Central Valley, but one that's going to be packed with heat this afternoon. Let's start you off with a look outside right now. It's our Valley Cam network, and you can see the skies over Visalia looking nice and clear blue for you there in the Kauai Delta Cam in the South Valley. Now, the temperatures are rising quickly, already in the upper 80s, and continue to climb for the afternoon. We'll see temperatures up at least 5 to 6 degrees warmer than yesterday, and you will feel the heat later on today. It's not the worst of it. We will see temperatures in the upper 90s through the drive time home, but the triple digits loom right around the corner. Stick around. The full forecast coming up.
Anthony, thank you. Well, just one day after laying George Floyd to rest, his brother is testifying before Congress about police brutality. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
Philonise Floyd arrived on Capitol Hill to testify about police brutality. His brother was laid to rest in Houston Tuesday after dying under the knee of a police officer.
The man who took his life, who suffocated him for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, he still called him sir as he begged for his life.
Mr. Floyd said police officers need to learn necessary force.
I'm here to ask you to make it stop. Stop the pain. Stop us from being tired. George called for help and he was ignored. Please listen to the call I'm making to you now.
Democrats say millions of Americans are crying out for change.
We must real reform and real change, and frankly, anybody who stands in the way of it is going to get bowled over.
Republicans say it's time for real solutions to police brutality, but say defunding police is not the answer.
It is pure insanity to defund the police. And the fact that my Democrat colleagues won't speak out against this crazy policy is just that frightening.
George Floyd's death has prompted Congress to put together new laws aimed at reforming police practices. House Democrats unveiled their plans on Monday, while Senate Republicans are still working on their plan.
White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and advisor Jared Kushner held talks with Republican Senator Tim Scott Tuesday about what kind of reforms the Trump administration will accept.
Yeah, we're not going to get into specifics. I think to negotiate it in the press would do a disservice to the senator and his colleagues.
CBS News obtained a draft of Senator Scott's plan. It includes new reporting requirements for deadly use of force incidents by police, increased funding for body cameras, and de-escalation training. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And developing now at home, police want to know who shot 2 people in west central Fresno. Police were called to an apartment complex at Clinton and Marks just before 10 last night. Officers found a man shot in the arm and a woman shot in the head. And they say 5 people were sitting in their car at Fairmont and Holt when a gunman walked up and started shooting. And the victims drove to the apartment complex and called police.
The suspect approached them on foot, but we will be going obviously door to door, checking out to see if anybody has surveillance video that may have captured the incident or captured the suspect or suspects approaching prior to the shooting.
Police say the woman was rushed into surgery. No word on her condition. And officers are now investigating crime scenes tied to the shooting, both of those. Well, we are keeping track of the latest COVID-19 case numbers around the valley. We'll start in Fresno County this afternoon. Health officials reporting 70 new cases and 2 new deaths for a total of 2,286 cases and 48 deaths. 37 more people have recovered. And just in this afternoon, Tulare County reporting 51 new cases, bringing the total to 2,432. 105 more people have recovered, bringing recoveries to 1,602, and 2 more people there have died, bringing the number of deaths to 96. In Kings County, health officials reporting 70 new cases, bringing the total there to 1,637. 6 people have died and 528 have recovered. And there were 5 more cases in Merced County for a total of 372. 7 people there have died and 258 have recovered. And Madera County officials confirming 2 more cases for a total of 174. 3 people there have died and 105 people have recovered. And new this noon, Fresno's Chaffee Zoo will be opening Friday, but there are some limits in place. Only 1,300 people can visit the zoo at a time. And zoo CEO Scott Barton recommends people get those tickets online. He also says some paths will be one-way only, and there will be no more paper maps. And he says food menus will be open, but they'll be modified for social distancing. Barton says you can plan your visit by going to the zoo's website, and zoo day camps are still a no-go. Barton says they're working on scheduling those with help from the county health department, and they hope to have those available soon. All right, coming up on Eyewitness News this noon, as some health opinions change, experts say research on masks has stayed the same. Their recommendations and human trials earlier than expected when this major U.S. company is starting its next round in the race for a COVID-19 vaccine.
This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
All right, welcome back. With many areas of the U.S. reopening after stay-at-home orders, many state and local governments don't want people to leave home without a mask or face covering. And health officials say the research now shows it can continue to help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Chris Martinez has more.
Stephen Hill wears a mask anytime he's out in public in Los Angeles.
I am totally fine with long-term wearing of masks. It's comfortable.
In April, the CDC began recommending cloth face coverings or masks in public where maintaining social distancing is difficult. The agency cited recent studies that people can transmit the coronavirus before showing symptoms. Now, the World Health Organization has changed its stance and also recommends covering up.
It's clear that mask wearing is absolutely fundamental to reducing contagiousness in the population, reducing spread, flattening that curve.
Dr. William Schaffner is an infectious disease doctor at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
It does provide some measure of protection to me also, although that's smaller. Mostly I'm protecting you, and you wearing it protecting me.
Masks need to be worn the correct way to be effective. The nose, mouth, and chin should be covered, and once the covering is on, avoid touching the mask or your face.
Dr. Schaffner also emphasizes that masks shouldn't give the public a false sense of security.
So wearing the mask is important, but you still have to be cautious with social distancing and good hand hygiene.
Stevens says he hopes more people will follow his lead and cover up.
It's not that big of a deal, and if it protects me and it protects the people around me from getting coronavirus, it's a no-brainer.
Because now more than ever, health experts say it's important to think past yourself to keep others safe. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Human trials of a COVID-19 vaccine are expected to start next month, and that's months earlier than Johnson & Johnson projected. The company says the trials will start in the second half of July in the U.S. and Belgium, testing the safety and immune response in more than 1,000 healthy adults 18 to 55 and also those 65 and older. The company says it'll supply more than 1 billion doses of its vaccine globally through the course of 2021 if it's deemed safe and effective. That would be good. Well, more shoppers are hitting up discount retailers like Ross as stores reopen, but some are now finding empty shelves. Economic experts say high demand is making it harder to keep up with supply, and they say many household items are made in Southeast Asia. Some of those countries were the first to be affected by the pandemic, shutting down factories. But when those factories reopened, the U.S. was in the thick of the pandemic and wasn't ready to allow foreign merchandise in.
When you stop it, you shouldn't be surprised that, by the time you see the shortage, you've now drained the supply chain for months.
I just feel like they just got to build it back up, I guess. You know what I mean? When? We don't know. I'll be glad when they do, though.
All the shoppers will, and some Ross stores have signs posted to let customers know they're working to restock merchandise as soon as possible. Coming up on Eyewitness News this noon, if you need to get outdoors, Yosemite reopens tomorrow, but you can't just show up. There are some rules. We go over those after the break.
And weather-wise, get ready for triple-digit temperatures. They're on the way back. A look at the full pinpoint forecast coming up.
Now, your CBS 47 pinpoint weather forecast.
Welcome back. I'm Anthony Bailey here with a check of your forecast. Weather-wise, we are in for a hot day. Temperatures on the rise across the valley, and we'll begin with a look outside this hour. It's our Valley Cam network. As you can see here, we're looking at the Meadow Lakes Cam. The skies over Fresno County looking nice and clear for us out across the higher elevations. Temperatures back in the mid-70s there. We are in the mid to upper 80s along the 99 corridor. 91 for our friends this afternoon in the Lemoore area, where we're looking at temperatures really skyrocketing across the region. We've seen the temperature trends up about 5 to 7 degrees across the area, and we will continue to see them getting even hotter in the days ahead. Calm winds across the region as well, so wind speeds right now less than 10 miles an hour from Modesto to Merced. Also, as you're down to Hanford and Visalia, we're not even seeing measurable rainfall there. A nice day on tap for us, but a hot one nonetheless, one that will be considerably hotter than yesterday. 91 was the high here in Fresno. 90 is your normal high for this time of year, and the record sits at 110. How'd you like to have that for today? No, we will not see temperatures that hot at all this week, which is good news, but we will march toward the triple digits, and we'll see highs in the 90s for today, with triple digits arriving to most parts of the valley floor by tomorrow afternoon. Here is where we're going, folks. We'll see the triple-digit mark in the Fresno area. That means we'll see temperatures topping that, likely in our South Valley, and not a lot in the way of a cool down on the way this week. However, that upper-level low, this larger system making its way onshore, providing some clouds and showers in the Pacific Northwest. We'll eventually see some of that cooling back into the Central Valley. Now, we'll give you a look at what's going on with air quality across the area. We're back in the good range from Merced to Madera, also in the Kings County area and Sequoia National Park, with moderate air quality there as you head to other parts of the valley floor. Futurecast stays pretty quiet with the exception of Friday evening, afternoon, and evening, where we're tracking some isolated showers in Yosemite to Oakhurst. Maybe a few pass through the North Valley on the way to the mountains, and then it exits the area. Most of the valley floor stays nice and quiet, clear through the weekend, with a considerable cool down and cloud cover on the way for the early part of next week. Here's the 4-day allergy forecast. It's brought to you by Dr. A.M. Aminian and the Allergy Institute. Keeps us in the medium range here over the next couple of days. We will see temperatures in the upper 90s along the western side of the valley, the Pacheco Pass area. The same in Fresno and Clovis later on this afternoon. Into the mountains, where we'll see a mild day for us beyond the lunch hour into the drive time home. And your extended forecast shows the weekend temperatures are back into the 80s for the valley, which is great news both Saturday and Sunday. And finally, in the mountains, we'll go from the mid-70s back to the upper 50s by Saturday afternoon.
Oh, we have beautiful weekends ahead.
Yeah, it's going to look great out there. And it's so exciting. So many more things opening up, a few more places to go shopping, and if you're going to hit the road, it's nice when the weather cooperates.
It's nice when you can get out and not be pouring sweat. That's so true. Anthony made it happen for us. Anthony, thank you. Speaking of, hey, Yosemite National Park will reopen tomorrow, but don't expect to just drop in for those tunnel view selfies. The park has some rules in place and is limiting the number of day visitors by reservation. Upper Pines Campground will be the only campground open at 50% capacity, and at some point lodgings will reopen, but bus tours and park shuttles are not expected to run this summer. And the park will issue 1,700 passes a day. You can reserve yours every day starting at 7 a.m. by going to recreation.gov. All right, up next on Eyewitness News this noon, an NBA legend trying his hand at a new sport, and turns out he's not half bad. We catch the story after this. This is great. There was a special guest at a sport fishing tournament in North Carolina. You caught a glimpse of him there. Michael Jordan, he made an appearance on his boat. 442.3-pound blue marlin at the Big Rock Blue Marlin Tournament. It celebrates sport fishing. Now, Jordan came in 6th place, but he did promise to be back to the event. And of course, the crowd poked some fun at the weight ending in 2-3, referencing his famous Chicago Bulls jersey number. I mean, look at him. Like, could you imagine you're at a boring fishing tournament and then
all
Michael
of a sudden
Jordan
MJ shows up. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Great weather out there for fishing as well on the weekend. Triple digits though for tomorrow.
Sorry to all you fishermen out there. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
CBS 47 Eyewitness News is on air, online, and on the go. Take Eyewitness News with you and share your stories with us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YourCentralValley.com.